Feel the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans getting locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We was slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth, I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. UPK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard, they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi why he get them babies herpes. I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, this what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ, they the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas, they a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth, niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4, I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Hey, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatham to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Lathan Bashem Yahushai to all the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer Kamadah holding it down for another Lashawan Qadash class. Right? This is an Israelite school, universal practical knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth. We've been defending the truth, and we've been saying that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. If it's not of the ISUPK, it is simply not the truth. Right? Once again, this is the Lashawan Qadash class. This is the Hebrew language, or known as the biblical Hebrew. Yeah. Understand? Spoken by, right? All the priests, the prophets, Christ himself spoke this holy language because it was given unto God's chosen people, who today are known as the children of Israelites, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the true descendants of the biblical Israelites. So in tonight's class, we're going to get into this weekend, right? So first off, America trains Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to honor pagan holidays. So President's Day is it's a pagan holiday, right? It trained by America for Hispanics and Native Americans to honor rulers and build loyalty to national leadership. Now, the Bible approach it, that's what we're going to get into, right? The Most High set boundaries. You understand? And those boundaries have to be obeyed by the children of Israel, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? For placed a particular man in authority, right? And teach you the separation, because that's what the Bible says. If you go into the book of Leviticus, let me get that real quick. I'm gonna read it. The Most High commands us to be separate. This is Leviticus 20 and 26. Right? So like the 26 and 20. Lock it. On Leviticus. Okay, it's supposed to be 20 and 26. So lock it. Bear with me. Okay, yeah, Kai. So Leviticus 20:26, and ye shall be holy unto me. Right now, holy is Qadash in the Hebrew, which means separate or set apart. Right. So the Most High said, ye, talking unto the children of Israel, shall be holy unto me. We have to be separate unto the Most High God, meaning that you cannot worship other gods. You can't worship Virgin Mary, all those things, right? And falsehood, you can worship. You have to be separate from those cultures, separate from those practices, right? You have to forsake. So he says, be holy to me. The Most High am holy, because the Most High himself is holy. Meaning that the Most High cuts away from the other nations and have severed you from other people, that ye should reign. So the Most High, he separated. He separated us his own heritage, their own, you understand, and not mingle ourselves with the other nations, because the Most High separated us. You understand? So with this class, we're going to teach you, according to the Bible, how to separate holy convocations and from national celebrations. Understand? Because that Most High to do, right? So and that's a conflict. That's a conflict with the Most High's order, right? So you're either going to pledge to America, you're going to pledge your obedience to the Most High God, right? Because the Most High restricts, once again, the children of Israel from placing foreign leadership over themselves, right? So President's Day celebrates rulers side of the Most High's identity. All right. And that's through, once again, the covenant, because he made a promise with the children of Israel. Right. And the issue is not nationality or politics. You understand? It is authority. It is the structure of authority and the spiritual alignment, because that is our. So we're going to get into the key words for tonight's class. So, what happens? Hold on, Salaki. With me? Not, oh, that's what happened. Okay. I was all right. Here we go. So the first word we have malak. Malak, that is a king, ruler. H428. Right, and that is also governing authority. No, order. Eight or heathen. It's the same thing. 5237. One. One. That's to set. We'll say appoint, to set to place. 7760. Bakar. Bakar. Chosen. That's age 977. I'm and that is people, nation. Last word is malakwat. So these are our words for tonight's class. We're gonna if y'all are tuning in, Salakia, what happened? Bear with me while I fix this. Shalom. Yabashim Shabakatam. Officer Qadash in the house. All right. So we have Malak, which means 37. Shawam, that's to set or to place. H7760. Bakar, that's chosen. H9 to get into our critical sentence. La'a. Fashayam. Fashayam Malak. Nakarya. Ow. Yashar Allah. Yashar Allah. So we're gonna write it down. La'a. Fa Shayam. Lakia. Fashayam Malak. Na Karya Al Asher Allah. Israel shall not set ruler over itself. So la'ah, that is not H3808 Tashayam. And that is you shall set all right, or place. Oh, well, we have set, select it. We'll just leave it as set. Set or place, right? H7760 Malak. King. I'm gonna say ruler because that's what we have here, but it means king or ruler. Ruler. H4428 Makarya. That's foreign. H5237 I'll over Yasher Allah. That's Israel. 7-8. Now let's break this down. La'ah Yam Lak Ya Allah. And Israel shall not set a foreign ruler over itself. That is not. Bashayam, you shall set. La'at Ashayam, that is shall not set. Malak, that it's ruler, so like it's king or ruler. Malak, ruler. Makarya, foreign. Al, over Yasher Allah, Israel, right, itself. Makarya al Yasher Allah. Israel shall not set a foreign ruler over it. And this is biblical. And I'm going to show you. Let's go to Deuteronomy 17. And verse 15. Because we prove everything with the scriptures. Judgments. So let's drop down to verse 15. And let me present let me see, should I do it like this? Select it. Okay, there we go. We're gonna do this one. All right, so you can see the board, and you should be able to see the my screen. So Deuteronomy 17 and verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. So the Most High, every time he says thou shalt, right? This is Old English, shout, but this is thou shalt. That is the Most High giving a commandment. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Most High, Yahweh, in the Hebrew, we're using the Most High's name for teaching purposes. Thy God shall choose. And who has the Most High chose to be king over the children of Israel? We're going to get into that. One from among thy brethren, one from among your brother. Now, the children of Israel are made out of 12 tribes. That is a family. Today, it is the so-called Negroes, the Hispanic tribes, and also the Native American and Seminole Indians. Right? We are a family and we are brothers. And we have to choose among ourselves to set king over us. Who the Most High chose. And who did the Most High choose? Everybody should know that the Most High chose Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who you know as Jesus Christ. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Now, let me give you a little bit of the history of the stranger who is not our brother. And we're going to start off with one of the fathers, right? His face made it on to Mount Rushmore. Right, this is one of the founding fathers, and we're going to get some also in the mix. So first we have George Washington. And George Washington enslaved over 300 people at Mount Vernon. And he enforced fugitive slave capture while he was in the seat of rulership. He approved military campaigns against native nations in the Northwest. You understand? He operated a slave plantation, and he used authority, federal authority, to enforce slaveholder property rights. And his administration also directed military campaigns that broke native resistance in the Ohio Valley, opening land for the United States settlement. So the founding power did not mean righteous power. You understand? So, and the freedom language was written with one hand while chains were enforced with the other hand. And that's how the Spaniards came to the native tribes as well. They came with freedom language, with one Bible in hand and swords in the other. And the foundation of America shows the contradiction. Now, let me give you more. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee. Why? Because these strangers will never have our best interest in mind, which is not thy brother. Let me give you another slave owner. This is Andrew Jackson. Let me go with Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, he was also another major slaveholder, and he fathered children with enslaved young women. And one of those slave young women, her name is Sally Hemings, and you could look this up. He promoted native assimilation and removal frameworks, and Jefferson expanded U.S. territory and influence while maintaining plantation slavery. And his writing spoke of liberty while his estate ran on forced labor. And when a man writes equality but lives exploitation, the record exposes him. Right? And no paper virtue can ever cancel live oppression. And Thomas Jefferson, his estate was called Montecillo. Montecillo, where he also had slave quarters, and that's the name of his plantation, Montecillo. And another thing to let you know is that from these also the founding fathers would have been the Epsteins of their day. Another one is Andrew Jackson, just to give you some history. Andrew Jackson, he's the one that signed the Indian Removal Act of 1830 and drove forced native relocation policies. He was a slaveholder, and Andrew Jackson's removal policy displaced multiple native nations, forced relocations, and produced mass unalivings and land seizures. Right? He rejected court protection of the Cherokee foreignty. And he there's this book, The Black Indians. It says that he boasted of the unaliving against the native tribes. These are oppressors who love violence, bathe in blood, and are sexual deviants. and he used law as a weapon to remove, and he dressed it up as policy. And America authorizes, one thing is that authority without justice becomes legalized cruelty. And you see the same thing playing over and over through our generations. I'm going to read more on these damn rulers. And this is why the Most High, he knew what he was telling us when he said, thou mayest not set a stranger over thee. And we go out and vote for these damn heathen who never had our best interest in mind. Their history lets us know that they never were about equality, but that's what they preach. You understand? They're all about cruelty. Another one is Martin Van Buren, and he executed the Cherokee removal operation of 1838 through 1839. And that was the deadliest Cherokee forced march. Salaki, one thing that I forgot to mention with Andrew Jackson is that he is he's responsible for the Trail of Tears. And if you go look at the migration of the Trail of Tears, he made natives walk for miles. And if anybody held the line, a woman that was pregnant, he would just open their stomach and rip the children out of their stomach. If elderly people were holding up the line, he would just unalive them there on the spot. These are cruel animals. That's the reason why they must be contained, and Christ has to come back, right? These animals, they sign orders or enforce orders, right? And the administration, execution is still responsible. Another monster, this is James K. Polk. I wish I don't have the images to share, but you can look him up. James K. Polk. This is another president, and this is who they want to honor on President's Day. And they always want to do it on a Monday to have what they call it a long weekend, right? And James K. Polk led Mexican-American War of 1846 through 1848. And war resulted in the U.S. seizing a vast Mexican territory. And the Mexican population became subject peoples under U.S. control, and discrimination followed soon after that. Just like today. But now, since they have the territory, now they'll just come and gentrify our neighborhoods. An expansion through war is conquest. It is not destiny, because that's what they say. They say that they call it manifest destiny, right? And taking land first and debating rights later reveals the priority order. That they're all about displacing people. Okay, so let me get the next animal. This is Dwight D. Eisenhower. Dwight D. Eisenhower authorized Operation Wetback of 1954, where It was mass deportation campaign targeting Mexican immigrants. And if you fit the description, if you were Puerto Rican, any Hispanic, if you fit the description, you were going to be, you were called a Mexican and you were targeted because America does not care. They know that you are the same people, except you believe that you are different. And documented due process abuses and wrongful removals occur, right? And they did it through mass sweeps, and they treated whole communities like suspects. That's why they're surveillancing still to this day our communities, because they make the whole world believe that we are suspects, but we're not on the Epstein files. And enforcement without precision becomes injustice by volume. Another heathen, another foreign ruler, right? Nakayar, Malak. So like another Malak Nakayar, another foreign ruler. This is Bill Clinton. And he signed the 1994 Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act. And that included the 3-strike sentencing expansion. And the 3-strike sentencing expansion only targeted Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? And the crime bill increased incarceration and sentencing severity, right? And another man that was under his campaign was Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the one who introduced the 3-strike and rule, and Bill Clinton signed. And a lot of researchers widely conclude it disproportionately impacted Black and Hispanic communities. And even though the law was framed as anti-crime policy and not race-targeted policy, right? Because that's what they call dog whistle. They use certain language, but they really mean target Hispanics. So when punishment system expand without justice safeguards, the vulnerable observe the weight, and impact matters more than the campaign slogans. All right. Another bastard is George W. Bush. George W. Bush, he signed the Secure Fence Act of 2006. And the reason why I bring him up is because there was a sister who she says that her loyalty is to Donald Trump. And you shouldn't blame Donald Trump for the wall, because the one who built the wall was Obama. But when you go back and you do the history and the research, you'll find out that it was George Washington who signed the Secure Fence Act of 2006. So and she says that because in her mind she believes that Obama is a Black man when he is an African, and he's not one of our people. Blacks and Africans are not the same race, but Blacks and Hispanics are. You understand? And he expanded border fencing and enforcement infrastructure. He expanded interior immigration enforcement and detention capacity after 9/11, and oversaw majority increases in migration rates and removal compared to prior administrations, right? And this is post 9/11. This is after 9/11. Security policies increased. Y'all remember that they increased security measures, right? And the security policies increased surveillance and enforcement environments affecting Latino immigrant communities. But they said that the Al Qaeda, right, the Iraqis or what have you, they were supposed to be America's number one threat. But after 9/11, security policies increased surveillance and enforcement environments affecting Latino immigrant communities, because the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right? So after 9/11, the federal government recognized migration enforcement under Homeland Security priorities and enforcement budgets, detention beds, and removal operations increased. And while Bush also publicly supported immigration reform proposals at times, the enforcement machinery built during his administration significantly expanded deportation and detention systems that heavily affected Hispanic immigrant populations. Y'all can look this up, right? So security policy that grows teeth without equal mercy always is going to bite the stranger first. And when I say stranger first, meaning in America, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the strangers, because every other nation can come into America in less than 5 years. They'll prosper. They'll have their own businesses, and America doesn't see them as a threat. So when enforcement expands faster than justice, communities feel occupation instead of protection. And lastly, we have, and I only gave you a list of the prominent monsters, but from Washington down to Donald Trump, they're all one and the same. And Donald Trump, right, he implemented zero tolerance border persecution policy of 2018 and resulted in family separations at the U.S.-Mexican border. He expanded detention and rapid removal practices, attempted to end DACA protection, right? And he increased public charge and asylum restrictions affecting Latino migrants, right? So the 2018 zero tolerance persecution directive required criminal persecution for illegal border crossing, which led to thousands of children being separated from parents because the adults were held in criminal custody, which is the detention centers. And the policy drew bipartisan criticism and was later curtailed. But family reunification legislation continued for years. And the administration also tightened asylum eligibility and deportation procedures affecting primarily Hispanic migrant populations. All right, so when law is enforced without human proportion, families become collateral damage. And those families are always going to be Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American families. Right? A government shows its moral temperature by how it handles the powerless at the gate. You understand? And let me give you okay, I won't get into that for time's sake, but right, so once again, the Most High, whom the Lord shall set, so like whom the Lord shall choose, One from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee. So the Most High set the rule that authority over the children of Israel, who are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, must come from within his order. And leadership is not based on campaigns. It's not based on popularity or national tradition, but it is based on the Most High structure, the Most High identity. Now let's go and find out who the Most High set king over the children of Israel. Is it Donald Trump? Is it the next president? Who is it going to be? Who is the king for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the children of Israel? Let's go to the book of Luke 1 and 32. This is the book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 32. He shall be great and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord God shall give unto him the throne of his father David. So who is this speaking about? It's speaking about Yahawashi HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. Verse 33, and he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. Right? So Yahawashi HaMashiach shall reign over the house of Jacob. Once again, a house. What do you find inside of a house? A family. That family in the Bible, it'll say the house of Jacob, the house of Israel is the same men. Those are his children. You understand? So the 12 tribes, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And Christ shall reign over the house of Jacob forever. Shall reign over blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans forever. That's the reason why you should not set no one as a ruler over yourself, because the Most High already chose, and he chose his only begotten son, Yahawashi HaMashiach, a black man from the ghetto, just like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and of his kingdom, Malak Wath, that's kingdom, there shall be no end. Right? The oppressor only rules for a certain season, but Yahawashi HaMashiach, he's going to rule forever. There's no end to his rulership. That's the reason why he's called the King of Kings. And he's going to take these rulers' crowns. And he's going to give those crowns to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who obey him. Right? So Christ is declared the ruler of the house of Jacob forever. Right? And the Most High established a kingship that does not expire, does not rotate, or it does not change with political seasons. You understand? Yahawashi's authority is going to replace temporary human rulership. And we're that close. We're so close. You understand? You better get it together. Wake your game up. Right? Because presidents are temporary. And Yahawashi HaMashiach, Jesus Christ,
He's permanent. Political rulers change every generation. And Yahushua HaMashiach's Malakwath, right, kingdom does not end. President's Day celebrates rotating authority. And the Bible, the Most High, appoints the children of Israel under the rulership of Yahushua HaMashiach to eternal kingship. You understand? Shalom. We got Michael in the house. Shalom, Mak. Yashua Kata. So let's get back on the board. We're gonna break the word down. Okay, so we're gonna break we're gonna break down temporary rule versus everlasting kingdom. Right, and that's the reason why you Micah, right? This is not your rest. It shall destroy you. America is not the rest for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because as of lately, nothing has changed. Since George Washington to Donald Trump, we are still being destroyed. And taking and going back also to prior captivities, biblical captivities. Right now, we're talking about the modern captivity, which is going to pass captivity that Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are going to be under. The next captivity that follows, right? Revelations 9 and 13. So like a 13 and 9, right? He who has an ear, let him hear. Verse 10. Go into captivity, who kill with the sword. That's the next captive that follows. The going into captivity. The oppressors who are unalive are going to be unalived. Let's go to these words. So we're going to break down Malak to like a Malak, which just means king or ruler. Okay. So Malak. So like I keep forgetting how to do it. So Malak, that means king. Okay, I'm gonna write it down like that. So Malak, that's king. Ruler, one who governs authority. One who so Malak means king, ruler, one who governs authority, right? And Malak can be temporary or late, right? The word itself means king, ruler, one who governs authority. Understand? The question is, who appointed him and how long does rule stand? You understand? Now we have this is going to say verses, and we have mama lakat. Mama lakat. Mama lakat, that's kingdom, dominion, realm of rule. Realm of rule, right? So Mamalaka is greater than a single leader, right? A system in order that contains that so like that continues beyond one man. And then also we have I Walam. I Walam. And that is everlasting. That's perpetual. Perpetual without end. Okay, so right, the Bible uses I will learn to describe rulership that does not rotate or expire. Right? And that is the opposite of an election. So let's break this. Let's recite this. So like, where's my sword? Salakia. So Malak means king, ruler, one God, right? And Malak is temporary. It has an end. Now Mamalaka, that's kingdom, dominion, realm of rule, right? And this is so like, let me get that again. That is a system in order that continues beyond one man, right? And I'm going to show you why. And then we have I Walam. I Walam means everlasting, perpetual, without end. That's forever, right? So it's a kingdom, a dominion, a realm of rule that's everlasting, that's perpetual, that it does not have an end. You understand? And let me drive the point with the scriptures. Let's go back to the Bible. We go to Daniel 24. Daniel 2:24. So like a 2:44. Two and 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And in the days of these kings shall the Most High, so like shall the God of heaven, because there's only one God, right? Buddha can't do this. Allah is impossible for him to do this. And all what are the other false deities? None of these false gods can ever attempt to do this because they don't have the power. There's only one Most High, Yahweh, the God of heaven. Yahweh, the God of heaven, set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. The kingdom of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are never going to be destroyed. You could destroy us as a people, but once our kingdom is established under the rulership of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the oppressor and none of these heathen are ever going to be able to touch us ever again. Christ is going to rule them with a rod of iron, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. The other people are the Nakarya, the foreign. I'm Nakayar, the foreign people. Right? But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. That's what the kingdom of heaven is. That's why the Christ said, I know thy works and tribulations, but thou art rich. We are rich because our kingdom shall break in pieces and consume all the kingdoms, and our kingdom shall stand forever. Y'all understand? Y'all hear me? So the human governments, they rise and fall. They're like a roller coaster. But the prophecy says that the Most High will set up a kingdom that never passes away. Presidents come and go, but the kingdom that is promised to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the true descendants of the children of Israel, our kingdom shall remain. And that exposes political power as temporary by design. Let's go to Psalms. Let's get more of this truth. This is what these churches, these pork-eating leaders don't want us to know. We're going to go to Psalms 145 and verse 13. Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth throughout all generations. Right? Because what we first read, right? So Yahweh is our king who the Most High chose from our brethren, from our brothers. That's Yahweh to rule over us. You understand? But our king is the Most High. And he set his only begotten son to be a king unto his chosen people, the children of Israelite. The children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right? So the Bible defines the Most High's rulership as eternal. It is not seasonal or dependent on public approval. You understand, ballots. Unlike the political system, his authority is stable and unchanging. Right? And temporary rulers require constant replacement, but everlasting kingdom requires no replacement. Right? The presidents represent rotation. The kingdom represents permanence. When the children of Israel celebrate temporary rulers, it forgets the kingdom that was promised to last forever. Every time blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans go out and vote, or they pledge to America, is because the American system, through religion and its policies and propaganda and what have you, makes us forget that we have a kingdom that was promised to be everlasting. Let's go back to the board. Most High in Christ. If y'all have any questions, y'all can also put them in the comments. And if I get to them, I'll get to them next week. If I can answer them tonight, I will. So let's go. All right. So this is a national celebration versus the Most High's authority. All right. So I'm Chag Malak Bashar. And now I'm Chag Malak Bashar. And that means a people celebrating a fleshly ruler. I'm, that's people or nation. Five nine 7-1. Chag, that's feast or celebration. So like it. Eight two. Malak. That's a ruler or king. H4 428. Bashar. That's flesh. H1320. Mortal man. Flesh or mortal. So like a mortal man. Let's break this down. Hold on, Salakia. Okay, so I'm Chag Malak Bashar. I'm Chag Malak Bashar, a people celebrating, right? Because this is temporary. Salakia. So like this is national celebration. National celebration. Okay? Put that in your notes. National. So I'm Chag Malak Bashar, a people celebrating a fleshly ruler. I'm is people. Chag is celebration or feast. I'm is people or nation. Chag is feast or celebration. Malak is king or ruler. Bashar is flesh or mortal man. All right. So let me give you a scripture on that. We're just gonna go back to help you understand and drive the point, the lesson. All right, so we're gonna go. I'm gonna take you to 1 Samuel 8 and 7. 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 7. And the Most High said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people and all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. Right? Because once again, the Most High is our king, but he set, but he chose or placed Yahushua HaMashiach as the king of the children of Israel. But Yahushua is our father. He is our king. You understand? And choosing human rulership is rejecting the Most High's kingship. Because we wanted to be like the nations around us. Right? The children of Israel asked for human leadership like the surrounding nations. And the Most High said that they were rejecting him as king. And President's Day mirrors that same pattern. Honoring fleshly rulers while forgetting who rules eternally. And political systems center human authority, but the Most High but the Most High's promise, his covenant centers the Most High as our God. You understand? National celebration exalts man. It trains loyalty towards fleshly leadership. You hear me? Now let's go this is the Most High verses. So this was national celebration versus divine authority. All right. And this is Yahweh. Yahweh. And we're only using the Most High's name for teaching purposes. You understand? But we don't use the Most High's name in vain. Not for no reason. Yahweh, Malak, Iwalam. And that translates to the Most High. Is king forever. All right. Hawa, that's the Most High. H 3063. Malak. That's king. H44 28. Alum. That's forever. So like that's time. That's forever or everlasting, eternal. H9. All right, let's break this down. Yahweh Malak Iwalam. Yahweh Malak Iwalam. The Most High is King forever, or the Most High is King everlasting. The Most High is King eternal. You understand? So Yahweh is the Most High. H3063. Malak, King, H4428. Iwalam, forever, H5769. You hear me? So let me prove it with the scriptures. We're going to go to Psalms. And verse 16. Let me present my screen. Psalms 10 and 16. The Lord, this will say, in the Hebrew, it'll say Yahweh is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his hand. Right? The Most High reigns as king forever, everlasting. Right? So the Bible declares the Most High's kingship, and it is permanent. It is not elected or could never be replaced. America honors presidents yearly because power expires. And there is a deadline or expiration date on the American kingdom. Only the Most High knows when it's going to expire, but it's soon. Soon. What did Paul say? He said, "Wake up out of sleep." Just paraphrasing, he said, "Wake up out of sleep because it is." What did he say? Salakia. I need to get it. Salakia. Now I need to get it. Let me look for it. Salakia. So like Paul said, it is high time to awake out of sleep. Where is it? KJV. Where's the KJV? Oh, it's right there. KJV. And that knowing the time that Now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Okay, so once again, the Most High's kingship is permanent. The Most High needs no holiday to maintain authority, because his rule stands regardless of nations, regardless of elections or political eras. Right? The Most High's divine authority does not rotate. It does not campaign. And it is never going to expire. But national celebrations trains memory towards temporary rulers. The Most High's authority trains loyalty towards eternal rule. You understand? So one celebrates history, but the other prepares the children of Israel for prophecy. And that is a promise. The Most High has never turned back on his word. Everything the Most High promised has come to pass. You understand? Let me see what time we have, where we at with the time. Okay, we got some time. First time watching, my eyes are old. Them little letters hard to see. So Salakia, time one. Someone, if you're on your phone, what you can do is that zoom in. You can expand video. If you're on YouTube, you could pinch it, right? Pinch it, expand it, and you'll be able to see these words. You understand? Salakia. I have the equipment, but we're done. If you have any questions, ask your questions, and I could recap it as well. No sweat. So we're gonna go to class call and response. All right. So class call. So lock it. Where my marker go? I gotta see how I clean my dry eraser. Where's my marker? I can't see. Oh, they went over there. All right. So we're gonna get the class call and response. So, right, if I was to ask you a question, this will be the question, and I will give you the response. You understand? And you could put these into practice with your, or you have a rib, put this into practice with your rib. All right, with the brothers, however you want to do it. So Salakia. Another thing I forgot to circle the propositions to point them out. So ha not. Oh, let me try to write it a little bit bigger for the brother. Ha na shaya na shaya. Na shaya ha gayam ha gayam hawa malak yasher Allah. All right. Oh, let me write it down. Salakia. Ha na shaya ha gayam hawa malak yasher Allah. Oh, so like this is a question mark. All right, so this is to of the heathen of the heathens, the king of Israel. All right, so that'll be the question. Ha Ha Gayam Hawa Malak Yasher Allah. All right, I won't break it down right now. Let me write these down. So this is the call, and this is the response. La'ah. All right, we'll put a exclamation point. La'ah. Yahweh. Nathan Lanawa. Nathan La Nawa. Malak. Ma Harab. Ma Korab Akyana.
Ak Ya Nawa. All right, so the response, so it is not Nathan Lanawa. Ma Kwarab. Ak Ya Nawa. I'm gonna get the next one and we'll break it down. Ma Hawa Yawam President. Right, because presidents, it is not. That's a red flag. All right, so Ma Hawa Yawam. And I'm gonna just have to write presidents. Because it is not a biblical word. All right, so Ma Hawa Yawam presidents. And it translates to what is President's Day? What is President's Day? And this is the response. Yawam Zakar one. Zakar one. La Malakia La Hagayam La A La La, so like a La A La Yashar Allah. La Yashar Allah. All right, that's the response. Yawam Zakar one. Zakar one. La
Malakyam. So like Malakya. Ha Gayam. La'a. Ya Shar Allah. All right, and that translates to a Memorial Day. A Memorial Day for the rulers of the heathen. Of the heathens, right? Not for Israel or children of Israel. Israel. All right, so let's break it down. Where's my sword? All right, so the first call. Ha Nashaya Ha Gayam Ha Malak Yasher Allah Ha Nashaya Ha Gayam Hawa Malak Yasher Allah. Now I'm gonna point out I forgot to point it out earlier, but these are prepositions or a prefix. Ha is the. All right. We have another one here. Ha Gayam. Ha, that's the. And that's it. All right. So these are prepositions. So let's read it. Ha Nashaya. Ha Gayam. Hawa Malak Yasher Allah is the ruler, the heathen, the king of Israel. So let me see. Right. So Ha Nashaya, that's the ruler, right? The ruler. Ha Nashaya, that's the ruler. Ha Gayam, the heathens. Gaya is nation or heathen. Gayam is nations or heathens. Same thing. So the nations, the heathens. Hawa is. Okay. So Hawa is. Malak, that's king. Yasher Allah, Israel. All right, so Ha Nashaya, Ha Gayam, Hawa Malak, Yasher Allah is the ruler of the heathens, the king of Israel. La'ah, Yahweh, Nathan Lanawa, Malak, Ma Qarab, Akya Nawa, La'ah. Oh, Salaki, I didn't write it down right here in the English. Okay, I need to write. Here we go. No. Okay. The Most High gives us a king from among our brethren. Okay. So Laki, I forgot to put that down. La'a Yahweh Nathan Lanawa Ma Korab Ak Yanawa. La'a is no. All right. Yahweh, that's the Most High. Nathan, that is gives or appoints, gives. Lanawa is us. Nathan Lanawa gives us, right? You hear that in the in one of the prayers, right? The way the Yahweh Shai HaMashiach taught us how to pray, right? Forgive us our sins as we forgive our debtors, right? Forgive us, give us. That's Nathan Lanawa, right? If you've been in class or you've been at a high holy day, you know that's a word that you should be familiar. Should be you should remember that this word Nathan Lanawa. Give us, or right? Give us, and then we have Makorab, Nathan Lanawa, Makorab. Okay. Oof. I forgot to put one in here. Oh, it is here. Malak. Nathan Lanawa Malak. That's king. All right. Forgot to put it in here. Lock it. Let me take it back. Correct that mistake. Malak. Ma Korab Ak Ya Nawa. Okay, so we have some prepositions here. We have Ma. Okay, and then we also have Lanawa. Oh, Salakia. No, it's not. All right. So Ma is from. Malak is king. Malak is king. Ma is from. Korab, that's among. From Ma Korab, that's from among. Ak Yanawa. Ak Yanawa is brethren, right? And Nawa is our or us. All right, so Ak Yanawa, our brethren. So the response is la'ah, no. Yahweh Nathan Lanawa Malak Mawa, it's like Ma Korab Akyanawa. The Most High gives us a king from among our brethren. And who is that king? Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay, the next call is Ma Hawa Yawam presidents. All right, Ma Hawa Yawam presidents. Ma Hawa Yawam presidents. What is President's Day? The response is Yawam Zakar 1 La Malakya Ha Gayam La A La Yasher Allah. Yawam Zakar 1 La Malak. Oh, so like we have some prepositions. All right, so we have La, we have Ha, we have a La here. All right, so we're gonna break it down. That's a preposition. All right, so Yawam, Zakar 1, La, Malakya, Ha, Gayam, La, Yasher Allah. All right, and that translates to a memorial day for the rulers of the heathens, not for Israel. Okay, so the response is Yawam is day. Okay, Yawam is day. Zakar 1 is memorial or remembrance. Malakya, so La, Malakya, that's 4 rulers. All right, La is 4. Malakya is rulers. Oh, Salakia. La Malakya is rulers of. All right, Salakia, rulers of. And Ha Gayam, Ha is a preposition to mean the. Gayam, heathens. The yum is plural. Let me put that in there. That a possessive or a suffix. The yum makes is a suffix. Makes a plural. Gayam. I forgot to put it in there. Salakia. La'ah, not. La Yasher Allah. La is for Israel. La Yasher Allah. All right. So with that, what was I gonna say? Let me get Salakia. Okay. Salakia, bear with me. All right. So just to recap, going back on 17 and 15, right, does not simply give the children of Israel political advice. You understand? It establishes authority through boundaries, and those boundaries are law, statutes, and Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded not to place a stranger over themselves, and that means leadership is not a cultural preference. You cannot pledge your allegiance to any, and it is not it is not unconditional. You understand?
That is a mission through a covenant. That celebrates and establishes rulers chosen by a system that has oppressed the children of Israel and does not operate under the Most High's covenant, right? So for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians living in America, right, that creates tension, right? Celebrating leadership that the Most High never authorized ever over the children of Israel, over Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He only established one leadership, one king, and that is his only begotten son, Yahushua HaMashiach. And that pattern is going to continue to repeat itself through history, right? So the children of Israel in captivity often learn the names, the holidays, and how to honor the systems that oppress, God's chosen people through the powers that rule, right? And when we forget the Most High's commandments, that leadership is forgotten. You understand? Because we have pledged of our allegiance to a nation that does not have our best interests. And you forget the Most High's kingdom, that it is a kingdom forever. America is not our rest. America has an end. You understand? And again, the leadership must come from among our own brethren, who the Most High chose, and that is Yahushua, right? And that's the biblical frame, and that is identity. But through wanting to pledge allegiance to what have you, America, right? We get confused by calling ourselves American and calling ourselves Latin X and whatever, what have you, but not calling ourselves by our biblical name, right? And it is going to be a lesson, right? The lesson is not about personalities or parties. It is about the source of authority, and that source is the Most High power. And when the people celebrate, I'm talking about the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when we celebrate rulers outside of our nation, right? We slowly normalize being ruled by heathens who will never have our best interests in mind, who are going to continue to oppress us instead of waiting for the rulership that the Most High promised. You understand? And celebrating these pagan holidays reveals your alliance. If the Most High already has a chosen king for the children of Israel, then honoring heathen rulership trains the minds of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to accept captivity as something normal. And that is what is called Stockholm Syndrome. You understand? So with that, water for tuning in. I'm going to send a shout out to all the brothers. Shalom. Yahbashem Yahushai Barakathum. Another shout out to all the sisters. Shalom. Yahweh Shamal Atham Bashem Yahushai. Also, don't forget that the Feast of Purim is coming up. All right. I believe is the, let me get that, Salakia, real quick. Just so y'all could, y'all can't say, you never told us when it was going to be, right? So I expect to see all the brothers and sisters who tune in right? You're gonna have to pledge your loyalty, and you do that through obedience, right? The Most High commanded us, meaning that we have to obey. And the Feast of Purim is a holy convocation which the Lord appointed to come together in unity as a family. And that is our remembrance that our kingdom is forever. It's perpetual, everlasting, eternal. You understand? Y'all hear me? So let me see. Slovakia, where was it? It's in here somewhere. Okay, so it's March 2nd and March 3rd. Right, so both days are the Feast of Purim. You understand? So I want to see all my brothers and sisters come together, right? If you're in the California zone, you know, we have our school in San Bernardino. If you are in Las Vegas or any zone, right, call up your nearest zone so you could join your brothers and sisters and remember the covenant which the Most High promised, which is to bring a kingdom that is everlasting under the kingship, right, of under Yahawashi HaMashiach. You understand? So with that, the water, class dismissed.